Hey guys, Dr. Gradella, last video. So I wanted to run through a little bit about SPSS and dependent samples. So you may remember in the independent samples, you had one column of data for group and one column of data for scores. With dependent samples, you actually, as you can see here, you have two columns of data, a before score for every subject and an after score. That is the big difference. It is critical that you enter your data like this. Now, the directions, again, are in this sheet for you, right here. But I'm going to run through them for every example. So, oops, that's the wrong one. Analyze, compare means, paired sample t-test. You have a before score and an after score. You just highlight both and you bring them over. Now, one thing I just want to show you here is that you can adjust the confidence interval level for each test. So on some of the examples, I ran them or I wrote them out as 99% confidence intervals. So you're going to have to adjust that here if you want to get the same results. Okay, and then we hit OK. And you will note, blow this up, a few things that I just want to go over. So this is the mean, and you can compare all this to the spreadsheet that I left also. So this is each mean, the number of scores, the standard deviation, and the standard error. We do not pay attention right now to the correlations. This is the paired sample t-test. Let's see, the mean difference is negative 0.222. The standard deviation of the difference and the standard error of that mean difference. Remember, these are two totally different scores. And then the confidence interval, the t statistic that we calculated, and the degrees of freedom. Now, you may not always have access to a t-table, but also statisticians typically use what's called the p-value, which we've gone over for every test as well. Here, the p-value, now, if you think about this logically, your test statistic is really small. You're not going to reject this. And we already know that from the work that we did. So here, your p-value is 0.760, which is greater than 0.05 or 0.01. So we fail to reject this anyway. But SPSS doesn't know that, so it runs everything for you anyway. But we don't need that in this test because we say, oh, look, our p-value is greater than alpha. We're going to reject anyway. We're going to fail to reject, so we don't worry about it. So that's the first one. And then let's see, I had them all lined up here. Yep. Here's the diet. So what I did was with the diet, we remember we have 7 people. They had a before score, an after score. And remember, I highly recommend, especially when we move to ANOVA next week, that you actually name the variables in variable view. And we go to analyze, compare means, paired samples. Bring both of these over. And again, your option, you can change this to 99 if you'd like. Okay, so you get a mean before and a mean after. You get a standard error. You get a mean difference. Let's see, standard deviation, standard of the sample, standard error, and then the confidence interval and your t statistic. And then this is your two-sided P or your one-sided P. So we ran this at 95% in SPSS. This is the two-sided P at 99%, at 95%. So it's less than alpha, so we reject here. We can then get our confidence interval. This will be the same numbers. And we can also go in, and this point estimate is the Cohen's d that we calculated. This is the standardized Cohen's d. We don't pay attention to that. So that's the second one. And then the third one would be, I think I called it oil something or other. Before video, after video. Yeah, the oil. Okay, so again, we go in to analyze. compare means, paired sample, before video, after video. Okay. And it came up. Compare means. Okay, there we go. So we have a before video score and an after video score. We have a mean, so these will match up with the spreadsheet. We also have a standard deviation and a standard error for each of these. But remember, we care about the difference. So the difference in the mean is here. The standard deviation of the mean is under the standard deviation box. We also have a standard error, and then we have a confidence interval. Now I may in the instructions did these things as 0.01 or 0.05 or one-sided or two-sided. You have all the information that you need here. Here's your degrees of freedom. It would be n minus 1. And then you have one-sided p or two-sided p, doesn't matter. Those are both smaller than 0.01 or 0.05. And then this is your point estimate for Cohen's d, for the difference. Okay, so this is a really short, quick video, just running through these. I highly recommend for both exam 3 and for the final that you get very comfortable with these printouts and that you know what you're looking for, you know what you're looking at. And I would actually print this out and make lots of notes for yourself on them. Okay, so hit me with questions. Again, really sorry I canceled class today, but it was not safe for me to drive. So have a wonderful Thanksgiving, and I'll see you guys next week.